Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back. And today's film that we're going over is The Gentleman. Written and directed by Guy Ritchie, along with two other writing credits for Yvonne Atkins and Martin Davis. The film tells the story of Mickey Pearson, played by Matthew McConaughey, an American who builds for himself a cannabis empire in London. He wants to sell it for $400 million to American billionaire Matthew Berger, played by Jeremy Strong. The only thing though is once word starts circulating that Pearson wants to sell his business for cash, that's when everything starts to go wrong. The Gentleman has a compelling story, but unfortunately, it's only in the last half of the entire film. The film opens with Ray, played by Charlie Hunnam, at his home and a surprise visit by Fletcher, played by Hugh Grant. Fletcher approaches Ray and shows him this screenplay for a movie about the story of Mickey Pearson. So right off the bat, as a viewer, I'm thinking, okay, the story of Mickey Pearson, it's a fictional story. So here's Fletcher kind of forcing Ray to sit down and listen to this story. So he's listening to it. And we get to see the story be acted out by Matthew McConaughey and the surrounding cast along with them. The unfortunate thing though is the film does a poor job in actually letting you know whether the story that's being told is fictional or non-fictional. Too many times within the film, I would stop and ask myself, wait, is this a real story or is this not a real story? Because there's moments where characters such as Ray and Fletcher will pop into the screenplay story of Mickey Pearson, and then aspects of the story that Fletcher's telling will start crossing over into the grounded reality of Ray and Fletcher. But they don't let you know until way later in the film that the story that is being told is all within the same reality. It's all real. Which then made me as a viewer sit back and think, okay, well then, where are they at right now in this story? The moment that Fletcher is telling the story to Ray, where are they in the entire story? It's this big jumbled mess, and unfortunately does a whole disservice to the first half of the film, just making you guess and wonder, okay, what's going on? Where are we at in the story? Is this real? Is this not real? And it is followed by an exciting other half of a film. We get a scene, without spoiling anything, where the viewer is shown something that without no context, I was confused and wondering, did I miss something? Is there a reason why that's there? And it's not answered until later in the film. And unfortunately, those moments happen one too many times. I think Guy Ritchie attempted to tell this smart, clever story, trying to make the viewer guess something, and then what got you with this great script that I wrote, which unfortunately is not that great of a script. When the movie starts off with too many questions, and by the time you reach those answers, you forgot those questions even existed because you're already thinking about some new ones. Those answers don't hit hard enough once we get them. And unfortunately, the film does a poor job in just holding the viewer's hand and telling them, hey, you remember that one thing from before? Well, let me tell you what that was. It appears as though even the film itself wasn't confident enough in the viewer to figure things out on their own. They had to hand everything to them, explain everything to them. And unfortunately, that's due to poor writing in and of itself. As I said earlier, the first half of The Gentleman dragged, and I'm not gonna lie, I was getting bored with it. But there's this weird, drastic change halfway through the film, and you'll be able to notice it if you go see it. There's a big drastic change in tone and in pacing, and just everything starts ramping up really fast in this certain part of the film that honestly, from then on, I enjoyed it. I was laughing, I was engaged, I was sitting up. I loved the last half of this entire film. But it's unfortunate that it's bogged down by such a slow, boring, and convoluted first half. When it comes to performances, I think the cast was great. I wish I got a little bit more from Matthew McConaughey because, in my opinion, it was just Matthew McConaughey playing Matthew McConaughey. I loved it whenever he went out and did roles like Dallas Buyers Club, but again, that's not what he's doing here. So If you like Matthew McConaughey playing himself, then you enjoy his acting here. But for everyone else though, I think they did great. Charlie Hunnam and Hugh Grant, I loved it when they were on screen. Their chemistry was amazing, it was fun, it was witty, and I just wanted to see more of them the entire time. And as for the surrounding cast, we got Colin Farrell playing the coach. I think he did a great job. Just the right amount of time that we needed of him on screen, along with Michelle Dockery playing Mickey Pearson's wife. She did a great job as well. But I think out of the surrounding cast, I would have to say that Henry Golden did a phenomenal job as Dry Eye. He playing the underboss to the gangster Lord George. And I enjoyed his performance. I think he did such a great job. Hey guys, real quick, so I just wanted to cut in the verdict because I wanted to make a point about something that I forgot to even talk about when I was originally filming it. There's moments within the film where racism is being spoken from one person to the other person, or is being implied about a certain group of people, and it didn't feel right. I'm fine with films and the characters within them being racist to other people. If it's a part of the story and they're trying to drive a point home, then that's fine. Almost like an example of like Django Unchained. But in this film, it didn't feel right. It seemed out of place at times. And to me personally, it felt like the writer wanted to say something about a certain group of people, and so the only way you can get it done was to do it through the script and have his actors say it for him. Does that make sense? And there's a little bit, way too much of it all throughout the film. The moments that it happened, it took me out of the film. But it didn't ruin the experience entirely. It was something that was a bit off-putting and a bit out of place. So with that being said, let's get back to the verdict. The Gentleman is a fun movie, but unfortunately, like I said earlier, it's the only last half of the film that's fun. The first half of the film does no service in keeping the viewer engaged. Only make them question the story itself and where are you in the story. You're kind of lost within this convoluted mess of trying to set up all these plot points so that we can get to this cool ending of whoop, gotcha kind of thing. The movie's paced poorly, and I also didn't like the editing. After watching Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I had a fresh outlook as to what it meant to have quick interstitials in between scenes and editing that broke the fourth wall done the right way. But unlike Tarantino's film, The Gentleman's way of executing that didn't land for me, and at times felt like an afterthought than intentional. Guy Ritchie attempted to tell a story with twists and turns, but fell flat. And not to mention, the film is named The Gentleman. They never reference themselves as the Gentleman. They never reference any other group of people as the Gentleman. So why is the movie called The Gentleman? I guess I'll leave that up to you to find out for yourself. I personally do not recommend this film. You will not be missing out on much if you were to skip this one. But that's just my opinion. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I appreciate it. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button. Let's talk in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this film after you watched it. I want to have a conversation with you guys. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Share this review with your friends. Until next time, keep watching those movies.